What is going on YouTube and Spotify? This is the Just BSN podcast, and today we are almost at episode 30. Not quite, but we're almost at episode 30. We are at episode 29 today. We got some Guardians talk and some more Cavs talk, of course, as we're getting closer to the Cavs playoff run. So, we're going to start with some Guardians talk. And speaking of Guardians, Mr. Bo Naylor, as the kid that we have all loved out here right now, is showing out, and he hit a game winner tonight. So we are going to talk a little bit about that. But first off, Andrew, how are we feeling this evening? This late evening.
Yeah, no, it is a late evening, but I feel good, man. Both Cavs and Guardians walk away with wins, so it's a good night. It's a very good night.
Absolutely, and it's nice to see the Guardians starting off pretty well so far. It seems like everybody that has been brought up, or everybody that has been retained, as well as just the coaching, it just seems a lot more smoother
Hmm.
on the Guardians side, and I think that's really been a big uh, positive for this team so far. And obviously, it's very early. The baseball seasons, unfortunately, are just so damn long that it's really hard to tell what a team can do early on like this. But this team has like unlimited freaking potential. I mean, they have so
Yeah.
much going on, even in the farm, which we've talked about last week as well. Just how good the Guardians farm system is. There's just a lot to be excited for. So yeah, tonight we won, and it was because of Mr. Bo Naylor and even Josh Naylor. They both combined for, what was it, 5 ribbies tonight.
Yeah.
They played an absolute crucial role in the basically a comeback, because I believe we were down 5-0 in this game, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't get to watch it, but I got to see some of the highlights, and I pretty sure we were down 5-0 early on, correct?
Yeah, we were down 5-0 within the first 3 innings.
Yeah.
So, just like yesterday, just off to a very slow start, going down 5-0, literally to start the game. And, I mean, doing what we do best, we pulled back.
Yeah, and it seems like BB, or Bybee, I should say. He started off sort of rough. I know he gave up about 5 runs in about four in one inning, so it wasn't really a great start for him. But it's not overly concerning, because some of these guys are still very, very young, and I think people have to keep that in the back of their mind before they start to uh, make these rash tweets that they have been trying to make about certain players.
Hmm.
But ultimately, the bullpen came out rocking. Eli Morgan actually came through the clutch, which I know he has also been another guy that's been paraded on Twitter. Like it's just, this team just seems to find ways to win. They're doing well so far, and again, I know it's early on, but this team is looking pretty good so far, if I say so myself.
Dude, I mean, it's looking fantastic, and I think one of the biggest differences and the reasoning why is, last year when we just had Tito, it was the same lineup card every single night, basically, with maybe one change at DH, and that was either like Josh Naylor getting the night off at DHing, or Ramirez getting the night off and DHing.
Yeah.
And now you see the lineup card, and almost like every day is just different.
Yeah.
You might see different guys in different places, and so it gives the Guardians a different look every day. And I think that's what really helps. And from what I've been seeing and what and hearing, he has different lineups for different pitchers. So against righties, he'll have a certain lineup against right-handed pitchers, and he'll have a certain lineup against left-handed pitchers. That's why when we see like guys like David Fry, we only see him go up against the left-handed pitchers,
Yeah.
because David Fry is a beast when it comes to batting against left-handed pitchers. But against righties, he's not so good, so he doesn't play that game.
Yeah.
And he makes the lineup fit the needs of what the team has to do for that game. Okay, cool. We got a lefty pitcher in Chicago. Half of Chicago's bullpens are lefties. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna put in David Fry,
Yeah.
because we know they're gonna bring out a lefty sooner or later. So we're gonna sub him in for. I think tonight they subbed him in for Estevan Florial, and he comes in. Literally one pitch gets hit, and it's an RBI hit by pitch on the bases loaded. So he didn't even need to swing the bat. He just gets drilled and boom, he already has an RBI. So
Yeah.
that's the effectiveness of David Fry going up against lefties. But no, but that I think that's been the biggest key for the Guardians is that the lineup card is just never the same. Bo Naylor will take a couple nights off, and Hedges will come in and pit, and
Yeah.
and they even do it for certain pitchers too. Like before, we obviously we're gonna talk about Shane Bieber here in a minute. Before Bieber went down, he personally wanted Austin Hedges as his catcher because they've worked together over the last
Yeah.
before we got rid of Hedges. They've already known each other, so he personally wanted Hedges as his catcher, and we saw how well that worked out when he had 20 strikeouts in the first 2 games, which was insane. And then, you might see some of the younger guys like Bybee and Allen go with Bo Naylor because they've worked together the longest.
Yeah.
So it seems like he's got certain things for certain players. So a lineup card for right-handed hitter or pitchers, a card for left-handed pitchers, and then catchers for each pitcher in the lineup. Like, hey, look, I want Austin Hedges as my personal catcher, or I want Bo Naylor as my personal. And it's not like if Austin Hedges is a catcher, they can't just throw Bo Naylor as a DH, which they've done a couple times already.
Mm.
So if you still want Bo Naylor in the lineup, again, he'll be in the lineup, but he might be as a DH. And once again, Bo Naylor good against left-handed pitchers. Now he's good all around. He's good against right-handed pitchers too, but again, depending on the lineup card and depending on who you're facing, he might not DH against the right-handed pitcher. He might only DH against the left-handed pitchers, and you'll see someone else DH for the right-handers. So
Yeah.
again, Vogue has a different lineup card for different scenarios, and I think that's why we're starting off so well. We're starting off so hot. It's because it's just not the same team, same lineup over and over and over again every day. Like the only thing that changed on that lineup card was either the DH or the pitcher. And that's
Yeah.
the only thing that changed for Tito.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that just goes back to just being more
Old
aware of
school.
how
Yeah.
the game is comparative
Mm-hmm.
to the old school way. I mean, listen, Terry is still one of the greatest GMs to ever walk this earth. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a GOAT. But, unfortunately his talents were just a little too old school for us. And in this league, it's changing
Mm-hmm.
rapidly. And I think what Vogue has brought to this team has been just a solid change of pace, and it's just brought a new awareness to what we need for this team. And yeah, you're right. I mean, when it comes to guys like Bieber, he's gonna want a guy that's gonna be more of a vet. But then you got a guy like Bybee, he's gonna want Bo because he's probably worked with Bo in the farm as
Mm-hmm.
well with Double A or Triple A or whatever. And once Garrett, Williams gets to get up, especially with Bieber now going down, I would imagine he's going to want Naylor for the most part. So, everybody that's been pounding the table at wanting, Bo Naylor to be playing more, trust me, he's going to, guys. Like, he's going to continue to bring the bats. He's going to continue to bring good, just defensive play.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do it. So, quit being overly concerned, especially with the first like 12 plus games or so that we've played so far. It's gonna continue to get better. It's okay. Quit freaking out.
Typical
I
Cleveland
dude,
overreaction.
yeah, like I hate it. It pisses me off so much. These
Yeah.
fans need to chill. This is such a long baseball season, and if you were not aware, now you are. Like, baseball is a long season.
Yep.
There are going to be many ups and downs. So like when Bieber went down. So, let's go ahead and talk about that. Unfortunately, Bieber started off very hot, and we talked about it last week how he was playing like an ace again,
Mm-hmm.
and we were all really hyped about it. And turns out he's going to need Tommy John, and that's a pitcher's nightmare, man. That's going to be a year of rehab, and who knows if he's going to ever be the same again because of his age. Um, and it sucks for him, and like I really feel for him because he was really playing well, and it does suck. But the good thing about this team is just the resiliency, but also just, dude, our farm system is just one of the best in the league, in my opinion. It's always has been, especially for pitchers. You know, you got Williams, that's going to come back at some point. God knows how many more prospects we have that are just ready to roll. So I'm not overly concerned. There were fans that were saying, hey, the Guardians are done already. Like, this is it, whatever. It's just not the dude. It's just not the case, and it doesn't have to be the case because, babe, dude, baseball is one of the most unpredictable sports
Mhm.
ever. Like you can't predict an everyday winner as you could in the NFL or even the NBA, which I think honestly it's easier to predict a winner in the NBA than it is even in the NFL. But the MLB is one of the hardest ones besides like soccer or
Mhm.
golf or stuff like that. It's always sports that are just so unpredictable. And baseball, man, it's such an underrated sport. If you don't appreciate it or if you don't understand it, then you just won't get this type of conversation. But man, oh man, it's such an unpredictable sport, and anybody can win on any given day,
Mhm.
especially in baseball. And so, that's why I'm not worried about it because it just comes down to leadership and it comes down to guys just being willing to go above and beyond and guys stepping up when they need to. And that's why you have the double A and the triple A and you have your systems to build these guys to be good. And we've done such a good job at that like I'm not worried at all. We're going to bring up guys pitching that are going to pitch well, and we're gonna get guys that are being like, why the hell are they not pitching right now? Like, why are they not in our starting rotation? Because they're good. Because we know what we're doing. So I'm not worried about it at all. Baseball is just a different sport, and I know you can agree to this, so I'm not gonna ramble on too much more. But yeah, losing Bieber sucks. I love him as a player. He's been great to this team. It's just not the end of the world. It really isn't.
No, it's definitely not. And I don't know why people act like it is. Like you said, we have Gavin Williams, who should be back within the next.
Williams. I kept wanting to say Garrett Williams for some reason.
Dude, it's just been one of those weeks and nights and stuff like that. So I trust me, I understand.
Yes.
But no, like you said, Gavin Williams comes back. I think he's got another week or two before he's up and running. I'm sure probably by the weekend he's gonna have a couple rehab starts in the minor leagues to get back up to pace. And I'm sure he's thrown a lot more bullpens over the last couple of days. So Gavin Williams should be back up, and there's another guy that is going to be great for you and is going to be elite for you. And people gotta stop freaking out. Shane Bieber is the biggest loss. Yes, we have one massive loss, but other than that, the lineup looks really good, especially the pitching staff. Like besides Bieber, we gotta remember what happened last year. Logan Allen stepped up as a rookie. Tanner Bybee
Yep.
stepped up as a rookie. Gavin Williams stepped up as a rookie. McKenzie on Monday looked really good. He looked like
Yeah.
the old McKenzie. He looked really freaking good. Now he wasn't the strikeout machine that we all know and love, but he got the outs. He got his ERA went from 10.80 down to like a 3.26 in just one
Yeah.
game. Like he pitched a gem on Monday. So we got to stop worrying. And Carrasco had a great game against Minnesota a couple days ago, and he looked
Yeah.
like the old Carlos Carrasco, which, again, these guys know what they're doing. These guys can figure it out. But once Gavin Williams gets back into the lineup, we'll be okay. We'll be squared away. The bullpen, I saw the bullpen stats tonight before we even did this pod. The bullpen ranks first through like third in every single stat. And everyone's like, "Oh, our bullpen has been awful these last few days." The bullpen is yet to give up a home run, which is
Yeah.
the only bullpen in the league that is yet to give up a home run this season already. We have the lowest ERA, the like second fewest amounts of hits given up, like the third fewest amounts of runs given up. Like this bullpen is still really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, "Oh, this bullpen sucks," and it's like, yeah, no. Like, look at the stats. The bullpen is really freaking good,
And we're scoring more runs.
and we're scoring a lot more runs, which was the biggest complaint that everyone was gonna having coming into the season. How are we gonna score runs? The big and I saw this meme. It's like the MLB, and it's like, oh, like you can't sell out. Like everything's about exit velocity and home runs and feet. How far can you hit a dinger and the exit velocity and stuff like that. It has like the Guardians logo. It's like, haha, single go bloop.
Yeah.
And it's like the funniest meme I've ever seen. But it's the truth because everyone's like, well, you're not going to win games if you don't have guys who can hit the ball like super hard and have 110 exit velocity and a 36-degree launch angle and it goes 435 feet. Like,
Right.
what happened? And this is where I like Tito Francona, and this is where I like the Guardians now, is because we play small ball.
Yeah.
We have guys on the team who, yeah, they don't hit a lot of home runs, but my guy can they hit doubles. My guy can they hit singles. My guy can they
Triples
just,
even.
yeah, they put the ball in play. Stephen Kwan, he's not a hard hitter. Yeah, he had a home run tonight, but his first that hit was literally just a small bloop that got into the outfield.
Yeah.
And like that's what he does best. He's best known for his bloops and his little little line drives that just get over the heads of the infielders and like it doesn't need to be 400-foot bombs every single at bat. Like Jose again, he might only
He's a double machine.
he's a double machine. He's not yeah he could hit 30 home runs in a season, but he's also going to give you 40 doubles. Like the people do like, and you get like guys like Tyler Freeman and Will Brennan who could just make good contact and put the ball in play. Same thing with Andres Jimenez, Josh Naylor. He puts the ball in play. That's all you need these guys to do, and we have the most runs in the league right now. We scored the most runs in the MLB. Like people forget that we didn't do that by home runs. We did that by singles and doubles and triples. Like we
Yeah.
have look at the runs. We have scored the most runs, if not the second most runs in the MLB, and we have the number one run differential in the MLB. And everyone's like, "Oh, the Guardians can't win. The Guardians are going to finish like fourth in the division because they can't score runs. Their pitching is still really good, but they can't score runs. We're scoring runs."
Yep.
And everyone's over here overhyping the Twins because the Twins got power, the Twins got pitching, the Twins got the. And guess where they are in fourth place in the division, under 500.
Yeah.
So and and guess what the Royals and the Detroit Tigers did? Added same thing what the Guardians did. They added guys who can just hit the ball. They don't have guys who have big exit. They have one guy on their team each that have big exit velocities and can smack home runs.
Yeah.
But in that, the rest of their lineups is all guys who just hit bloop singles and doubles and get on base. And guess what? The Guardians, the Royals, and the Tigers are in the top three, all on winning streaks.
Yeah.
Winning baseball games. And guess who are at the bottom? Teams like the Sox and the Twins and even look at the Houston Astros. They're almost dead last in their division because guess what? Power is not everything.
Yeah.
And when you only hit for power, guess what? I talked about this against I talked like this against Aaron Judge. Everyone's like, "Oh, Aaron Judge is so great because he hit 60 home runs a season."
He strikes out a bunch.
But he also strikes out almost 200 times a season,
Yeah.
which is the most in the league.
Yeah.
So it's with him, it's either 50-50. It's either a bomb or he strikes out. Like every time, like against the playoffs and against the Guardians 2 seasons ago. What was it? Every hit, he had 4 hits. All 4 were home runs. He had 12 strikeouts in that series, 13 strikeouts. He struck out every single time he was up to bat, basically.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you have exit velocity. Doesn't matter if you hit for power. Doesn't matter if you have Judge or Stanton or Juan Soto. Yeah, those guys can hit bombs, but they strike out 200 times a season too, and so they don't. If they don't hit you home runs, they don't do anything else.
Yeah.
They're nothing. So go ahead and have your home run hitters. I'm gonna get Quan, who's 3 for 4 with 3 singles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Stephen Kwan has been one of my favorite guys so far. I mean, the dude.
Yeah.
I mean, currently he's batting 386 right now as an average. He had 2 hits tonight, RBI and a home run tonight at 5 at bats. Scored 1 run as well. Guys like Jimenez scored 1 run, 1 hit. Obviously, and I think the biggest, guys for us right now has been the Naylor Bros. They have been
Yeah.
killing it for us. Josh Naylor is starting to get on more of his like home run spree a little bit. He had 2 ribbies tonight. He had a home run, 2 hits, 2 runs, 4 at bats. But Bo Naylor also had a home run, which he is not really a like power hitter per se. He's more of a contact guy, but the dude is clutch, and the dude has always batted consistently when he does get his opportunity. Now he's only batting 194, but it's only going to progress, the more he goes. But even you got guys like David Fry who haven't ribby literally from probably a sac fly, I would assume, because he doesn't have a hit. So by that knowledge, I know he probably had a sac fly. And it's just, dude, guys are stepping up. And, it's as you said, the lineups are always different each game. And that's what I love about Vogue. That's what I love about this team right now is there's not like that consistency of just the same 9 guys playing because, dude, it wears on them. And if you're
Yeah.
not able to like warp your lineup a little bit to tailor to certain pitchers or certain guys that you want them to go against, which I think Tito did a little bit. I just don't think he did it quite enough. I think that was his flaw. It wasn't that he wasn't aware of that. Obviously, like it makes sense to have a right-handed batter go up against a left-handed pitcher. That just makes sense. Like that's just baseball 101. That's philosophy there. But just the way that the team has been ran so far, I think there's a different confidence in the room. I think there's a different aura in the room. I really think just the youth of Vogue has been the difference maker for that ball club, and I think it's shown. And dude, I mean, the team is playing well so far. Obviously, it's early, so I'm not gonna totally hype this up yet, but it's been fun. And different guys are stepping up every game,
Hmm.
whether it's Jose, whether it's Quan, whether it's the Naylor brothers. Either one is going to happen. Either one is going to pop off, especially against the Sox. Dude, Josh Naylor owns the White Sox. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
literally, like, physically owns the White Sox at this point. Ever since last year, he is the White Sox, like, CEO at this point. Like, dude is a madman against the White Sox. I don't know what it is about that team specifically. He must have a certain like vendetta against them. I don't know, but the dude, it's just a machine against them. And yeah, it just proves that again, we don't need power hitting. You just need guys that are ready to step in when they're needed. And again, guys like Quan who are batting 386. You got Jimenez who's batting 326. Ramirez is still at 268. Josh Naylor 333. Freeman is only at 200. I think that's going to go up as the time progresses. Same with Brennan and even Lariano. Bo is going to increase dramatically, I think. I really haven't seen too much of Florial, so I don't know how he's going to do. And then I would love to just see, Riccio really find his groove in the batting, which I think he will. It's early on; it's his first year starting, so he's got a lot of things to get used to. And again, dude, that's just how the game works. This ball club is built to last long term. It's built to have a little bit of flexibility because you don't have a lot of money tied into this team. You don't have a lot of guys that you were like literally like drawn to or stuck with. Besides, what is it? Ramirez has a pretty big contract, and I think Jimenez has a decently big contract. And after that, I mean, guys are expendable, but also again, you just have a farm system that's just incredible, man. Like I don't know what else to say. This team every year pulls out rabbits out of their hats constantly, and they just make things happen. And that's why I'm not overly concerned. They're always contending. They're always making noise. And it's really just about them finding their identity. And I think Vogue gives them that ability or that opportunity at least to do so. And I just, for whatever reason, Tito just couldn't bring that out of them. I don't know what it was about him. I don't know if it was just the old school, the nature of him. I don't know. But whatever it is, the team feels and looks a little bit better. And I think we're in pretty good hands. And I think sky is really the limit for this team. It's just a matter of them showing up, and it's a matter of them staying healthy. And it's a matter of just going through the ups and downs, things like Shane Bieber going down. It's just the unfortunate reality of the game. And it sucks. I feel so freaking bad for him, man, because Shane was playing out of his mind. Like
Yeah.
20 Ks in 2 games was solid for us. He
Yeah,
goes
dude.
down like that. It just sucks.
And I'm looking at the contracts right now. Jose and Jimenez do have the biggest contracts on the team. Both 7 years. Jose with 141 and Andres Jimenez with 106. And then it drops off like Miles Straw's like 5 years, 20 million. Same with Clause's 5 year, 20 mil. And then you have Shane Bieber, who's on his last year, basically like last year rookie deal on 13 million. So I mean, obviously you can re-sign him if you need to or want to. And then Trevor Steffen's on a 4 year, 10 mil. And then everyone else is just on like 1 year, like $1.5 million deals.
Yeah.
Like so, like no, there's no like huge like contracts besides just Jose and Jimenez, but which both are very much deserving of these contracts. Like we can't say that neither one of them deserve those contracts because they both do. I mean, after this year, Andres Jimenez is going to win a platinum glove, not even a gold glove, but a fucking platinum glove because of how well he has been defensively. But no, dude, when we talk about it, Steven Vogt has done so well this season to start. He has managed his team very, very well. And he just looks like a manager who's been doing this forever.
Yeah.
And the fact is, this is his only second year of managing because he was a bullpen coach last year for the Seattle Mariners, and that was when he retired.
Yeah.
So, and he comes in, takes over the youngest ball club in the league, and says, "I want to make these guys fucking good again." Remember the 2022 Cleveland Guardians? Yeah, those boys are gonna be back,
Yeah.
and 9-3 to start the season, and we're just cruising. We have the Yankees Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so we have the day off. This is late night Wednesday, so Thursday tomorrow we have the day off for
Yeah.
Guardians. We come back Friday, we play the Yankees. So I would say your second, um, your second, go around against a good opponent. I would say the Twins have been the best you've played so far, and you've handled them super well. You went 2-1 or 2-0 against them because the third game was postponed due to rain.
Yeah.
But now you have your true test. You have the Yankees. If you can beat the Yankees, man, I think this season's going to look very, very good for the Cleveland Guardians. I think Carlos Carrasco goes Friday. They have nobody listed for Saturday. I don't know who's going in for Saturday because obviously that's supposed to be Shane Bieber,
Yeah.
who's supposed to be in that slot, and then I believe it's McKenzie on Sunday.
Yeah,
So
it
you have,
is. I'm seeing it right now.
so you have Carrasco, McKenzie, Carrasco Friday, McKenzie's. It's just whoever is going to be put in that slot. I mean, I'm sure they're going to do what they did last year. It might be Hunter Gaddis out of the bullpen, which Hunter Gaddis out of the bullpen has been really good this year too. I think he's have like a point. I think he still has a 0 ERA. Like he's been balling out this year.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he came into the team because I believe he was a starter in AAA, and we brought him up like 2-3 years ago to be a starter because of injuries. And he had a horrible start because he went up against the Houston Astros, who were red hot when he faced them. And I was like, okay, well, there you go,
Yeah.
rookie Hunter Gaddis going against the fucking Houston Astros. Of course, he's gonna get smoked, but no, like in a sense, he has matured. He's developed really well, and him coming going into the bullpen was the best thing for him because, like we said, he's been pitching fantastic lately. So I'm sure it'll be him who will get to start. And it's going to be like a typical like bullpen game where he goes for like 3-4 innings, and then we just kind of go after the bullpen. Or unless, depending on how good of a start he has, he might go six.
Yeah.
He could go 6.5, and just give us a good game. And so it's one of those things. But it's definitely going to be a bullpen guy coming out and starting and trying to give you at least a good few innings. You kind of wish Xavier Curry was out here, but I think he's down at AAA rehabbing because I think he got
Yeah.
injured like sometime last year, and I think he's rehabbing in AAA right now. So no Xavier Curry. It's just Hunter Gaddis and then whoever the fuck is behind him.
Yeah.
So, but I think we'll be fine. I think as long as we have our bats going the way we do, I think we'll be just fine.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. And again, it's nights like this where like even some of your better guys are gonna have tough nights because it's
Yeah.
baseball. Like that's just how it works. So
Yep.
you just got to be resilient and just keep battling because it's a 9 inning game and like tonight it stretched to 10 innings. because of the way that we were batting the ball towards the end, and it just guys like the Naylor Bros, man, they've just been so hot, and you guys like Ramirez that have been stepping up. Dude, Quan, his power is getting improved dramatically, man. Like I've really been impressed with his power, because he's always been a contact guy, but he's never really been a power guy, and he's been hitting homers. And so if he's able to continue that, Steven Kwan is going to become one of the better outfielders in the league. I like for real. Like he gets me giddy. And he's been promising every single year since he's been brought up. But man, oh man, if this kid can stay healthy and he can continue to be batting the way he is, Steven Kwan's going to become one of the better, if not one of the best outfielders in the league. So, and dude, again, sky's the limit, man. The Guardians could end up being another Diamondbacks team from last year, or even a Rangers team last year that just randomly just decides to step up, and it just proves that you don't need to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on guys like the Dodgers have done, or even the Mets have done. I mean, look at Lindor's stats. I know Lindor. I'm pretty sure he's batting like below 100 this year.
I think he's at like .7 or .89.
It's bad. Like it's bad.
Yeah,
What
he's at a
he's doing right now.
He's at a .89. He was at a .75 yesterday, but he had one hit today and five
Yeah.
at bats.
One hit today. He has gotten 5 walks, 6 strikeouts, 1 homer. And again, he's 30 years old now, so like it's not like he's like young, but he's not old. And everybody geeked out when we got rid of him. But honestly, I think we won that trade because the Mets really haven't done shit since they got him.
No,
All that team has really done is stirred up their relationship with their fans. So like again, the Guardians haven't done anything to really do that for us. I think we got rid of like what we needed to get rid of, which was really Tito. I mean, Tito at the end of the day was sort of holding this team back. So um we just got to give Vogue a chance to really work his magic with this lineup. Let him do his thing, and just really see what he can bring out of this team. And if they can continue to do what they've done so far this year, they're going to be one of the best teams in the league by the end of this year. But they got to stay healthy. That's my. I think that's the only ever concern when it comes to baseball. It's just being able to stay healthy because it's such a long season. So hopefully that is how this season goes. But as we all know, that's usually not what happens. There's always something else that happens besides a guy like Shane, going
going
down.
down. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the Guardians are on the right track. I'm really excited to see what they do, but I do want to sort of pivot a little bit to some Cavaliers talk because we are getting closer and closer. I believe this week is actually the last week of the NBA season, I guess, for us. I'm actually about to click on the Guardian or the Cleveland's, I should say.
The 14th is our last game.
Yeah. So it's 4 days away. So we do not have a lot more left. I know we just won against Memphis today, which Memphis is absolutely riddled with injury. So that was not a game that we necessarily looked better in, but we definitely needed to win because we've been losing a little bit lately. We've lost, we've won 1 out of the last 5 games before we played, tonight. So it's been a rough little stretch for us. We've had injuries. There's been a lot of drama with JB. And talk, when Todd talks about him potentially not being with his team. We've talked quite extensively over the year so far about JB and our complaints about him. There was rumor that earlier this season, I would assume probably right around All-Star break or even before All-Star break, when guys like Mitchell and Garland both went down, or actually no, it was Mitchell and Mobley went down. When guys were really probably starting to complain about JB.
Yeah.
Now it seems to be coming back. And there's rumor that he could have lost his job earlier this year. And now there's going to be some pressure on him to even get us through the first round of the playoffs. where's your mindset at with this team? Because this team they've been good, great, and then they've been absolute bottom of the barrel. Just what the hell is going on?
No, I mean this team has been as up and down as you can think of. Like it's it's either like you said, it's either been really great, good, or just straight up horrible. And a lot of that is doing the part to JB Bickerstaff and what he's been doing coaching wise and what he's been doing to this team. We talked about the things he could do better and what he should do better, and a lot of what is going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like I'm just looking at the roster now, and again, we talked about this before. The 35 to 40 minutes for the starters, and then 18 minutes to Niang, 27 to Okoro, and 28 to Levert, and then Porter, Jones, Bates, Mobley,
And where
Nance
was
all
Sam
get to.
Merrill at tonight? Like, was
He's
Sam Merrill out?
he's day to day with an injury.
Okay.
I don't know what the injury is, but I saw it was day to day. But talking about it, like the rotations have been horrible for JB. He uses maybe three guys off the bench and then doesn't use the rest of the bench, which is very horrible. Like good coaches use the entirety of their bench. Um, like he'll take guys out in key situations. Like we could be on a comeback and it's like, oh, we're down by like 3 or 4, and say like a guy like Sam Merrill's hot or like Garland's hot.
Yeah.
Like once the ball goes out of bounds, he'll take them out, and it's like, what are you doing? These guys are shooting hot right now, and they're the ones making shots, and you just take them out. Same with Mitchell, he'll take them out, and it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like we're literally making a comeback, and you just take the guys out, and it's like, are you like that just stupid? Like why are you just taking guys out? And he'll sit there and be like, oh well, I took guys out because they're tired and stuff like. It's like, dude, I don't give a if they're tired. They're the ones making the comeback and they're balling out right now. Leave them in.
Yeah.
Let them build at least like a 5 point lead before you take them out or something. And his rotations have been the wrong people at the wrong time. He makes horrid substitutions,
Oh.
and I like it's just been so bad. And I know a lot of guys would like to blame Darius Garland for issues, and I saw one of my old buddies from media school tweet out like, oh, we need to trade Darius Garland and we need to trade him for, I can't remember the guy's name, it was on the Brooklyn Nets, it was a shooting guard, Devin Vassell. And we need to trade Darius Garland for Devin Vassell. And I'm sitting here like, they have the same exact stats. Why the hell do we need to trade Garland for a guy who already has the same exact stats? Just so you can bitch more about how bad this guy is. Like,
Yeah.
and the thing is too is like, he said that because Vassell in the last like 4 games had like 22 plus points. And then you look below that, it's like 13, 12, 15, 17. It's like, okay, so he had 3, 4 games where he popped off, and then the rest of the season he's averaging 17 and a half points.
Yeah.
Garland's averaging 18 and a half. And they both have about the same amount of assists and rebounds. So it's like, I was like, this is the dumbest tweet of all his fucking time. Like, trade Darius Garland for a guy who's exactly the same. Like, this is why you didn't get into sports broadcasting, because like your takes are so horrible like this. And he's one of those guys who thinks like, his takes are like really hot, like they're hot takes, and he knows they're hot takes, but he thinks they're smart hot takes. Like
Yeah.
they're super fucking intelligent. And it's like, dude, you're so far off. It's not even fucking hilarious. It's not even funny. Like, you're so bad and so far off. And Darius Garland wasn't bad tonight. And he wasn't bad the last few nights. And when he isn't scoring points, he's getting assists. He like the games, if you look at the games where he had like 10 points, he also had like 13 assists. Or when he had like 8 points, he had 14 assists. Like, he's still doing other things that are productive if he's not scoring. And Mitchell actually needs Garland to be good. Otherwise, again, it's going to be the same situation Mitchell had in Utah where he had nobody around him besides just him. And, he needs Garland. So he needs a guy to feed him the ball and to connect with. So I don't know. Like, I think for me, it's more JB. And, everyone's talked about this. We've talked about this 1,000 times. He just has to leave. And I don't think the Cavs will get any better until he does leave. So, because like the Cavs have like leveled out from last year, I think we won't get to that next level until we get a new coach who knows what the hell he's doing and can elevate this team.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. You know, I I don't put blame on guys like Garland or guys like Mobley. I think it's an ability to properly elevate these guys to really play to their
And you have to
potential.
put them in the right spots and the right
Yeah.
like
Well,
you're like the plays you've been drawing out are either one on ones for Mitchell or just nothing at all.
it's lazy to me.
Yeah,
Like it's a lazy way to coach, basketball and with the way this game works. This Cavs team has always been best when we are sharing the ball a lot. We
yeah,
are moving the ball around constantly on offense, and we are using our defense
and our
to
bench.
create offensive possessions that turn into points constantly because we have the ability, we have the athleticism to do so. We're just not using it. Like
Yeah,
it's a lot of iso ball, it's a lot of BS, and it's just
he
God,
doesn't want to
JB, you
coach.
piss me off, man.
He doesn't
I'm
want to
so
coach.
ready for JB to get fired. I really am. Like of, we lose in the second round even. Okay. If we lose in the second round, that's fine because I would rather have JB leave than deal with this fucking dude one more season. I can't stand him. I've been so hypercritical about him, and I can't fucking stand him for any longer. I'm tired of holding my breath. He's been a nuisance.
Mm-hmm.
He's been holding this team back from so much potential. He's held guys like Mitchell back, Garland, Mobley, Jared Allen. Like he's holding back Okoro. He's holding back guys that are has all of this potential to be really really good for this, and we're just not able to use it for whatever the fuck reason. I don't even know, but it's pissing me off. Dude, I'm getting so tired of day to day hearing and dealing with the JB drama. I even if we make it to a finals, I swear to God, even if we make it to a finals, I don't want JB as our head coach anymore because I
Hell
don't think he
no.
is going to be. I just don't think he's going to be the guy that's going to keep guys like Mitchell and Garland together, or even Mobley with his team. Because I mean, you know Mobley's been hyper criticized. Everybody has been hyper criticized by media, and I don't think there's anybody else to blame but JB and his inability to guys to be better than they are. And unfortunately, for us, we now have to deal with it. And I don't know why my feed keeps like backing in and out. I don't know if it's my internet or not. So if this recording gets fucked up, I'm sorry guys. My internet's being fucking janky tonight. But yeah, we could be so much better than we are right now. It pisses me off because we had such a nice streak going before the All Star break.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody started saying, "Hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and give JB a little more time." And now I'm ready to throw hands at whoever decides to keep or let him go because I can't do it anymore, man.
I
Like
can't either.
I have not I've not believed in this guy since we lost in the play-in tournament to the Hawks in 20, what was that, 21? It was the
21.
year it was the year before we got Donovan.
It
Um
was 21,
20
22 season.
Yeah, yeah. Ever since then I have not thought that he has been the guy. He's been here for this long. It's pissing me off. So, I'm done ranting. JB he needs to go. He is the reason why this team is where we are, and he's going to be the ultimate reason why we either retain Donovan Mitchell or lose him. And Mitchell is going to have a say in that. He's going to say it's going to have that sort of LeBron effect where it's like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
if you guys want to keep JB, that's fine. It's not going to be me though. Like I'm not going to be here. And
Yeah,
guys
no.
are, and other guys probably won't either. So it's either you keep me or you keep JB. And if I'm the Cavs front office, I think you give Donovan whatever the hell he wants. You keep him as best you can, and you get rid of JB, and you bring in somebody that Donovan can get on board with, and other guys can get on board with. Because this roster is too talented to be struggling this much right now. It really is. Like I know we've dealt with some injuries. It's just too talented to be dealing with the BS that we're dealing with right now, and that's my say.
No, it's perfectly said. Like you have all this BS going on, and it's all caused by JB. Like we have to get rid of him. We won't move up or get to the next level with him being our coach because we have been stagnant for the last couple of years, and we have not gotten any better or progressed any better. I mean, we went from the play-in tournament, and I think we finished in like eighth place or something in the league,
Yeah.
and then we finished like third last year. We're third now, but like it's like okay, cool. The East was absolute garbage last year, horrible.
Yeah.
Besides like the top four teams, and it still is now. And again, you're now sitting in that fourth spot because New York overtook you, and you haven't done anything to get better. Like this team looks the same as just last year. Like we went on a run of 13 wins in a row before we went to the All Star break, and then after we could barely even get a win. Like we were struggling against a Memphis team tonight who were missing 12 people, and half of them were and 90% of them were starters and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like you almost like you were struggling against them, and that shows the competence of JB Bickerstaff. We had a favoritism of minus 19 and a half.
Yeah.
We should have won by 20 or more,
Yeah.
and we barely won by 12. And that's the incompetence of JB Bickerstaff because again, it's a lot of iso ball with DG and Donovan Mitchell and no spreading the ball around because I guarantee the reason why we got Max Strus and George Niang is so you can move the ball around and hit him in the corners wide open so they could bang a three.
Yeah.
Same with Sam Merrill. And what have you done? Nothing like that. Because guess what? Max Strus is over here averaging 8 points when in Miami he was probably averaging double that. Because guess what? They moved the ball around, they got him the ball, and he was making shots.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Me and my fucking doorman in my apartment building, or the security guy, were talking, and he goes, I don't know why we don't give the ball to Jared Allen in the paint more and Mobley. Like these guys have been scoring a lot recently and have been doing really well. Like they should be getting the ball in the paint, dominating the paint. And after the day after he said that, Allen went off for like 22 points or something, and then
Yeah.
Mobley went off for like 25 and some. And it's like, and guess what? We won by like 20. And it's like, again, it's just getting guys like that involved more often instead of running ISO ball all game fucking long. Give the ball to Mobley. Give the ball to Allen. Swing it out to Strus. Like those guys can do work. Those guys will make shots. I mean, hell, Mobley's been hitting threes in the last few games. Like he was banging threes in the last few games. Like he's got a shot now, and you don't want that to go to waste because you don't want to give him the ball. You just want to run ISO ball with DG and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of this talent is going to waste. And now I see why we lost in the playoffs to New York last year. I know it wasn't because of scaredness of Jared Allen or Mitchell being poor or Garland being poor. It's the incompetent coaching of JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah.
And we look at it back at it now, the playoffs last year, we all blamed Mitchell. We all blamed Allen for not getting rebounds. We all blamed these, but it's like we were just out coached.
Yeah.
That was it. We were literally just out coached the entire game, the entire time. If you look at the stats, we matched up with everyone evenly. Mitchell was matched up with Brunson evenly. RJ and Garland were matched up evenly. Hardenstein and Allen were matched up evenly. Same amount of rebounds, same amount of points. Like all across the board, we were just outcoached. And the same thing's going to happen this playoffs if we don't get our shit together. We're going to get outcoached again, outclassed. And then idiots are going to be like, well, this is all DG, there's Garland's fault. This is all Mitchell's fault. This is all Allen's fault. If they were just a little bit tougher and a little bit more aggressive, we wouldn't lose these. No. If we didn't run ISO ball for 25 fucking minutes with Donovan Mitchell, we would be winning more games because look at it. Mitchell has 29 points. Everyone else has 15 or below.
Yeah.
When things were competent and coaching was competent, Garland was getting 25, Mitchell was getting 25, Allen was getting 20, Mobley was getting like 18, Strus was getting 13. Like everyone in the starting lineup was getting double digits and high double digits. And when we were struggling, you'll see it. Mitchell has 35 points. Garland has 15. Mobley has 15. Allen has 15. Strus has 5 or 8 or whatever. And the bench barely has 6 points. And it's like, when one guy is scoring all of your fucking points, you know something's wrong. Because when we had LeBron, Kyrie, and K-Love, all three of them would have 30 each. Because what would they do? They would share the rock. They would play off of each other. They didn't run just single ISO ball.
Yeah.
And you had 3 guys who would get 30 points in the game altogether. And now it's not happening.
No. Yeah,
And
it's not.
It shows you the competence of JB Bickerstaff when fucking Tyronn Lue is out coaching you, and I can't think of the guy's name after Tyronn Lue that we had. For some reason it keeps slipping my mind. But it just makes no sense. And everyone could be like, well, he had LeBron James and stuff like that. Okay, Donovan Mitchell's good. He can get 30 points a game too. Darius Garland's competent and he can get 25 points a game too. We just didn't run fucking ISO ball all the time.
Yeah.
We ran ISO ball with Mobley a couple times too, and it's like, why the fuck are we just running ISO ball with everyone?
Like I don't get it. Like it's such an old school way of playing basketball. It's like the LeBron type of way of playing basketball, especially when it comes to the Cavs. I mean, it seems like anytime we get like a superstar, quote unquote,
It's just ISO ball with them.
Like to, I mean, we just like to give him just ISO ball and just let him, work everything else out. And it's like, dude, there's spot up shooters everywhere. Like there's guys like Garland who can knock down threes either off the dribble or literally standing still. Mobley can hit shots. Struss can hit shots. Merrill can hit shots. Okoro can hit shots. LeVert can hit shots.
Dang.
It's fucking endless. Like, why aren't we using these guys' ability to just hit up, like, set them up? Because guys like Mitchell and stuff, they're going to get their points. Garland's going to get his points. Mitchell had 29 tonight, and he was the above 20 points tonight was LeVert. I mean, after that, it was pretty much nobody. So, like, I know we won tonight because it was against Memphis, but Memphis is also absolutely injury riddled right now. So, of course, you should win that fucking game. And now you're flirting with the potential of a rematch against New York if you're going to be the 4th seed.
Yeah.
And if that's what you want, fine. But I would much rather play the Pacers or, the Magic over the Knicks right now. So,
too.
it sucks. It sucks. It just sucks as a Cavs fan to watch all this shit happen. And dude, there's nothing you can really do about it. You're just waiting for them to fire JB.
Yeah, and what I'm looking at too is that you signed Marcus Morris to a contract for the rest of the season just for him to not play tonight. Like, didn't touch the floor a single time tonight. What's the point of signing him if you're not going to use him? Like, when you first got him, he was helping you out. He was getting buckets. He was doing his thing. You're not even using him. He's just wasting away on the bench. Like, why the
Yeah.
hell are we fucking signing these guys if we don't want to use them? Like, again, this is JB level basketball. The only people off the bench he uses is Okoro, Niang, and Levert. He doesn't use anybody else. Imani Bates could get a couple more minutes. I'm sure he would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. You know, Porter. Oh my God, Craig Porter for half the year was balled out. Like Craig Porter is a scorer. He can score buckets. Gets 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, Marcus Morris, who you signed to help you in the playoffs and help you win games. Not a single minute. Zero. What the fuck did you sign him for?
Yeah.
Just to have him? Like, it makes no sense with what JB's doing. He uses three guys off the bench. Three guys. And that's it. He doesn't use anybody else. And I'm sure those guys are talking to each other like, what the fuck is this idiot doing? You have a whole bench who could score. You have a scoring bench. What we've been wanting for the last couple of years. Use it, my guy. Use it.
Yeah.
Garland and Mitchell don't need to be playing 40 minutes a night. You know, Struss and Mobley and Allen don't need to be playing 35 minutes a night. Use your bench, my guy, and you don't have to use the same three people. Use more. Put in Marcus Morris. He's good. He
Yeah.
can help you win. He can score buckets.
Yeah, use your bench. Like there's just no reason why these guys got to play fucking 38 minutes a game in our starting lineup. There's none.
Especially against a team who has 5 people who are alive today. Memphis barely had 5 people alive today. And you used the entire starting lineup for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And you still barely won.
Yeah, you won like what was it, like 110 to like 88 or like 98
110
or
to
something like that.
98.
Yeah.
You won by 12. They were making a comeback in the last 3 minutes of the game.
Well, they had a lead at half, didn't they? Like they literally led us at halftime.
Yeah, by 2, and then we took over, and it's like, oh my goodness, my guy, like guys, come on now. And the thing is, we had 2 guys who didn't play tonight. And that was Morris and Thompson. Porter, Jones, Bates, Mobley, yeah, and Sam Merrill. But that's because of injury. This was their entire lineup. They had Stevens, Laravia, Jackson, Jemison, and Pippen Jr., who all started and played 40 minutes. Their bench was White, Allen, and Simpson. That was it. Clark,
Yeah.
Aldama, Kennard, Williams, all did not play because Kennard did not play recovery. Williams did not play hip strain. Aldama did not play right foot. Clark did not play right hand. They had 3 players on the bench who were not injured. They just had injured guys on the bench so they could fill out a roster for tonight.
Yeah.
They had 8 people in total on the fucking roster alive.
So
And you
annoying.
still only won by 12.
Yeah. It's so annoying. It stinks, man. Like it stinks because this team is so talented roster wise. It's just coached horribly. JB is the most overrated coach in the league, I think. I'm sure he's great with players, but as a developmental coach, as a X's and O's coach, as a guy that's just gonna get you actual wins, like things that matter in this league, he's not it. And I'm fucking tired of dealing with it. I'm so sick of it. It literally, dude, it boils my blood. It boils my blood that we have gone this long with JB when everybody's been bitching about him since fucking 2021, 2022 season.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I saw someone tweet out saying just fire JB tonight and just let Luke Walton take over for the rest of the year.
Yeah, like what do you have to lose at this point? Like at least then the team will just have a fire under their butt because they'll be like, oh, thank God. Oh my Jesus. Like
that'd probably be a breath of fresh air in the locker room.
You can't imagine that these guys like Donovan, Jared Allen, these guys aren't pissed. They're like, there's no way they're not pissed that JB is still their head coach after 4 years of being here. There's just no way. There's no way that they were excited about that at all. And any fan that thinks that he's not the issue isn't watching the games, and they haven't watched this season progress the way it has.
Yeah.
Like when we've just let our guys play the way that they need to, we've gone off. We've played well. But when we start the BS that. Oh my god, dude. JB is good as like an assistant coach or a guy that's like in the background, but in terms of like an actual head coach, JB needs to go f off. That's my final take on that. JB, like it boils my blood. Like I don't really have anything else to say about JB. He's just what an idiot.
I don't either. I think we've said all we needed to say about JB
Yeah,
Bickerstaff, to be honest, and
that
I'm sure we'll have more to say after Sunday.
yeah yeah, and listen, if we end up playing the Knicks, we're screwed. I'm
Oh, it's
telling you that
over.
right now.
We're out. We're knocked out 5 games.
And even so, the Knicks are beat up too. They don't have Julius
Yeah,
Randle. He's out.
yeah, he's out for the year.
OG has been out for a minute too. Brunson has been dropping
In
like
and
60
out.
point games. Josh Hart is getting a triple double like a lot lately. But they just out like muscle us, man. Like they just out physical us. And dude, that just comes down to coaching. That comes down to preparation. And you have no reason at all to lose against a team like them or the Pacers or even Orlando for that matter. Milwaukee right now. Um, Giannis just went down with some sort of calf strain as well. Like this is the time to like go for a little bit of a run in the playoffs because at the end of the day, the only team that's really going to be the team in the East right now is Boston, and that's it.
Mhm.
Like there's no other team in the East that scares me. So there's no reason why you can't make an Eastern playoff conference final
Yeah,
against Boston. There's no reason. So
yeah.
pick it up. Otherwise, JB, you're gone. I mean, I think regardless, he's gone. Even if he
I think he's
loses
gone
in the East
regardless.
Finals, yeah. Like I just think the guys don't like him,
No.
and the guys want something different, and I know fans do too. So
Yeah, and you got 2 games left. You play Friday against the Pacers, and you play Sunday against the Hornets. So you got 2 games left, both at home. Just go out there, win those games, and then just prep for the playoffs. And we'll see what happens. I
yeah,
thought about going to one of those games, and I don't even know if I want to anymore.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It
Yeah,
really is. Uh, because if we lose Donovan because of JB, dude,
the whole city will burn to the ground.
I can't even imagine how many fans are just gonna just be like, "Fuck this
Fuck the
team,
Cavs. Yeah,
fuck the Cavs." Screw the front office, ownership,
I,
even
I,
like
I really,
it's gonna be bad.
I truly believe Donovan's decision to stay or go is going to come down to whether or not JB gets fired.
I mean,
If
yeah, I mean, I've always said that. Yeah,
Yeah, if JB gets fired, I'm sure Donovan will stay, depending on who comes in as coach.
yeah,
If um if JB gets or stays, then he's gone.
yeah,
And it also depends on how far you make it to playoffs. If you make it past the first round, he'll stay, I'm sure.
yeah,
And if you don't, he's gone.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I totally agree. Like, I really couldn't say that any better.
Yeah,
I don't really have anything else to say. Like,
I'm good too.
I've worked 72 hours in 6 days, so I'm fried at this point. Like, my brain is just mush. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Obviously the
For
Cavs
sure.
still have the playoffs, and the playoffs are a whole different ball game. I think if the Cavs are smart, they at least try to win one more game and just say, listen, whoever we play in the playoffs, we play. Let's just get our guys to stay as healthy as possible. You have to keep Donovan healthy. He played well tonight.
Mhm.
But you got to keep him healthy. Like you got to have these guys ready to go for these playoffs because you can't afford to miss any of these guys. You really can't. So get it, get your guys healthy and get them ready for the playoffs because no matter what, you still got to go through Boston in the end. So get through everybody else and see what happens. But
Mhm.
I think everybody is really turned on with the Guardians, and it's gonna go back to Browns talk here soon for us, especially if the Cavs have an early exit. We got the draft later this month as well, so
Yep.
we still got stuff to talk about.
Yep.
But yeah, today was a little bit of a Cavs rant towards the end, so I do apologize for the negatives, but it's been frustrating, and I think a lot of the media lately has been that way as well,
Yeah.
and it's just how it goes, man. It sucks, especially with this team playing as well as they have been. It really does suck. But Andrew, you got anything else before we log off for the evening?
Nope. I think we've got everything off our chest that we needed to get off our chest.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next week because
Yeah.
NBA playoffs are getting ready to start, so we'll have that talk as well. And I think we'll start doing some more draft prep as well because that's getting closer and closer. We're getting close to that
2
too.
weeks, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So we will definitely, if not next week, the week after that, we'll definitely have an episode where it's more dedicated to the draft and sort of what we expect from the Browns there. So, we will see you guys next week with more Cleveland sports talk, and yeah, hopefully we won't be as fried as we were today. My gosh, dude, my brain is absolute mush.
Toasted. Yeah.
All right, guys, we will see you guys next week.